Yeah, let's talk about fucking Snake Eyes. So we've talked about Brian De Palma on this channel before. We talked about Obsession.
Obsession?
Obsession
Yeah.
from 1976.
I think that's what it was called. I can't remember
It's
now.
not Possession, it's Obsession from 1996,
Yeah.
written by Paul Schrader with Cliff Robertson and John Lithgow. And then we also talked about Brian De Palma on our Film Brats ranking.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Brian De Palma. When I ranked him on the Film Brats, I put him number 2 after Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
So I just love his style and everything. And we get this movie in 1998, the year after Face Off, directed by Brian De Palma, written by David Koepp, who's written a ton of blockbuster films. He's the ninth biggest box office screenwriter of all time. This movie is also kind of a return to form for Brian De Palma a little bit, because we get this sort of political crime mystery thriller of piecing together a conspiracy, which we've seen in movies like Blowout and kind of Dressed to Kill similarly as well. And we get the full Brian De Palma style coming back, a little bit back to his roots of the 70s and early 80s type beat,
Yeah. It was good. It was Brian De Palma doing Brian De Palma,
Yeah.
It's so funny, you think about, it's kind of the worlds merging, where Face Off had John Travolta, who was in Blowout, and that's just amazing. It kind of taps into his roots there a little bit in that movie, with how he's crazy panicking guy.
Yeah.
You go to Snake Eyes and it's De Palma, but it's with Nick Cage this time. It's almost like they really swapped in real life.
Yeah, and then this time Nick Cage actually is playing a cop.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a sleazy kind of cop. He's a sleazy corrupt cop, but also has his own principles to it.
Yeah, he has his own principles that you see throughout the movie, which are showcased in a really kind of meaningful way. Everyone thinks, oh, he's just going to get bought off, right? He stands by what he believes, and he's I know I have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I respect that a lot. I like that a lot.
Snake Eyes takes place in Atlantic City during a really big fight for this, during a really big boxing fight. Nick Cage plays a cop who places a bet on one of the fighters to win, a big bet on it. In the intro, it's all this crazy one-take shot. I don't even know how the fuck they did all of that with all those people, all these different things going on, but it's De Palma. He's a veteran at this point, doing movies for 30 years. He knows what he's doing. He knows
that was such a sick opening. Oh my god, it's so cool.
He knows what he can pull off. He knows what he can fucking do.
Yeah.
But basically he gets involved in this conspiracy because during the fight, the fighter throws the match on purpose, and then also during that a political...
They call him the secretary, so I guess maybe defense secretary?
Yeah, the defense secretary gets killed in a plot, in an assassination plot during this thing. And then basically that whole event, the whole movie revolves around this event. We get this event, and we get this sort of Rashomon style time, space, and memory, uncovering things from different perspectives that goes out throughout the movie, which is really what makes this movie shine, is Brian De Palma's style, and then the editing and the time, space, and memory shit of going through different characters' perspective, revealing what actually happened and uncovering this conspiracy.
Yeah, I agree. It was really I like how it was a very concise movie. It all takes place in one night. And for me, that's more exhilarating than it being over the course of time, Seven. I'm not saying Seven's a bad movie, but they you see how time passes. I like that it's stakes are high and they have to get it done tonight. Yeah, I just thought the uncovering of the story was really interesting. My one gripe with the movie, right, is
the ending.
Not the ending, not necessarily the ending, but the kind of the conspiracy is revealed to you. And I feel like that takes out of the enjoyment a little bit. Because part of it was finding out for ourselves, like you said, with flashbacks and whatnot, how they reveal kind of the little clues that happen. Once you realize what's going on, it kind of loses that magic a little bit. And then it turns into a little bit of a different thing, where Nick Cage now has to protect this woman.
The only witness.
The only witness. I don't know, that reveal kind of, I felt slowed the movie down a little bit. And that was my one gripe with it. But other than that, I had a fun time with this movie. I thought it was a clean De Palma film. The action's really kind of exhilarating, the mystery of it. is really exhilarating.
Yeah, I think I would agree on that. Like, once the mystery is all played out and you find out everything, I will say that the movie does kind of slow down in terms of, like, enjoyment and engagement. But once that's going on, you're seeing, like, these different perspectives. You're like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's who that person was. Like, that's really what makes this movie shine. And obviously, it is kind of a style over substance type movie, which we get from De Palma. But that's, like, what I am into. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Type of thing, like the form over the function or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say, like, by the end, the ending isn't the best part of the movie, which is kind of a thing for me where I need my endings and my films to be the best part. I can't, that's like, the climax needs to be really like what everything kind of comes together and get that release. And this one doesn't really have that. It's mostly about the intrigue of the plot and revealing things to the audience. That's really cool. And the style he does it, and the split screens, and like the crane shots and all these long takes he does. And and then once that kind of ends, it just kind of falls off a little bit as a movie. It's not a perfect movie per se, but you know, it's a good little Brian De Palma. It's not little. It's like $80 million.
Yeah.
But it was good. I enjoy this film. I like Brian De Palma a lot. Like, I like his movies because I like his brand and his style. So I'll just watch a movie just because Brian De Palma, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This comes at an interesting point in Brian De Palma's career because this is like him working 30 years in the game. And then, you know, this is after he also made Mission Impossible. He made Mission Impossible 1. And then, you know, John Woo made Mission Impossible 2, which is an interesting little that we have with this, like, you know, this set we have here. This double feature set. And also, Brian De Palma, John Travolta, dude, like he's in like Carrie, he's in Blowout.
But those are amazing, dude.
Yeah. So there's like interesting parallels between Nick Cage and John Travolta in that aspect with Brian De Palma, you know?
If I had to pick between these two, though, I enjoyed Face Off more.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes is a cool little mystery. It's a very well made picture, but I just enjoyed Face Off more.
Yeah. I would say, like, Snake Eyes, if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage and De Palma, definitely watch this movie. I think it's kind of a staple in the Nick Cage's career and Brian De Palma's career as well, you know?
You got Snake Eyes, buddy.
Yeah, we get those casino terms and stuff in there.